Have you ever held a coin that looks so ordinary that you wouldn't even give it a second glance? A coin that might be sitting in your pocket, hiding a story worth more than gold? Today, we're diving deep into one such hidden treasure, the 1980p $1 coin. This coin might look like any other piece of change, but behind that simple metallic shine lies a fascinating history, rare variations, and the potential to be worth an unbelievable fortune. Let's go back in time to the year 1980. It was a period of transformation in America. The economy was shifting, inflation was high, and the U.S. Mint was experimenting with new designs and materials for its circulating coins. The dollar coin had just returned to public use a year earlier with the Susan B. Anthony series. It was smaller, rounder, and looked a bit too much like a quarter, confusing millions of Americans. Still, the Mint pressed forward, creating the 1980 Philadelphia Mint issue, the now famous 1980p $1 coin. The P Mint mark, representing Philadelphia, appeared proudly below the image of the great reformer Susan B. Anthony, the first woman ever featured on a circulating U.S. coin. On one side, her strong profile symbolizes liberty and equality. On the other, the majestic eagle landing on the moon reminds us of America's greatest achievement, the Apollo 11 mission. Every detail of this coin was meant to honor progress and perseverance. But not all coins struck that year were the same, and that's where things get exciting. The 1980p dollar coin may seem common, but only true collectors know about its mysterious varieties. Some pieces were struck with double dies, meaning the letters or images appear slightly duplicated. Others have unique minting flaws, off-center strikes, or die cracks that make them one of a kind. A few coins even show strange surface textures caused by die fatigue or polishing marks from the mint itself. These imperfections, instead of ruining the coin, actually make them far more valuable to collectors. Imagine finding one of these coins while sorting through an old box of change, perhaps left behind by a parent or grandparent decades ago. It could look dull or tarnished on the outside, but once cleaned and graded professionally, it could reveal a secret worth thousands of dollars. Even a coin in average circulated condition can catch the eye of a collector if it carries those rare details that most people overlook. The grading of the 1980p dollar coin plays a crucial role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect, flawless condition. A coin that shines with original luster, sharp edges, and clear, well-defined letters could be categorized as mint state, or MS. An MS-65 or higher grade coin from 1980 with the P mint mark is exceptionally rare, and that's where the big money begins to roll in. Some collectors look specifically for coins with strong strikes, where the eagle's wings, Anthony's hairline, and the word liberty appear with perfect clarity. Others seek coins that have never been touched by human hands, preserved carefully since the day they left the minting press. When such coins appear in auctions, they often spark bidding wars among numismatists from all over the world. Now, here's where things become truly unbelievable. A rare 1980p Susan B. Anthony dollar, with pristine condition and an exceptional strike, once made headlines in the coin collecting community. While millions of ordinary versions exist, only a handful of coins have reached this near-perfect state. These are the pieces that collectors dream about, the kind that can turn a simple dollar into a treasure. Over time, the story of the 1980p dollar coin has grown from a small collector's interest into a legend. Social media posts, online auctions, and numismatic forums are filled with photos of people discovering their old coins, wondering if they too hold a fortune. Some turn out to be common pieces, worth a few dollars, but a lucky few uncover true masterpieces, and those discoveries are life-changing. Just imagine, a coin you might have once tossed into a vending machine or left in a drawer could hold a key to an unexpected windfall. And the best part? These coins are still out there, waiting to be found. Every time you handle an old Susan B. Anthony dollar, take a moment to look closely, check the edges, inspect the surface, and search for that tiny P mint mark. You never know what kind of treasure you might be holding. This isn't just about money. It's about history, craftsmanship, and the incredible stories that small pieces of metal can tell. The 1980p $1 coin is more than just currency. It's a symbol of an era, a piece of art, and possibly a hidden fortune that connects the past with the present. So, the next time you come across one of these coins, don't ignore it. Hold it under a light. See how it shines. And think about the thousands of hands it might have passed through, the decades that have survived, and the value it might secretly hold. Because one of these coins, one rare 1980p dollar in flawless condition, was sold for a jaw-dropping amount. Yes, you heard that right. One single 1980p $1 coin was once valued at $45,000. Have you ever wondered if the coins in your collection, or even your change jar, could hide a secret fortune? What if I told you that one of the most ordinary-looking coins, a simple $1 coin from the year 2000, could actually be worth an astonishing amount of money? Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 2000p $1 coin, a coin that carries not only history and beauty, but also the potential to make you richer than you ever imagined. Let's start from the beginning. The year was 2000. A brand new millennium had begun, and the U.S. Mint was preparing to launch something truly special. After the short-lived Susan B. Anthony series, America introduced a new design that would change the look of the dollar coin forever. The Sacagawea dollar. Struck in a bright golden color, it stood out instantly. It wasn't made of real gold, of course, but its alloy gave a warm golden shine that symbolized a new era. On the obverse side, or the front, we see the face of Sacagawea, the courageous Shoshone woman who guided Lewis and Clark during their exploration of the American West. She's shown carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back, with her eyes looking confidently into the future. Around her are the words liberty and I in God we trust. Flip the coin over, and you'll find a soaring bald eagle surrounded by 17 stars, representing the States of the Union at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. The 2000p $1 coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, hence the P Mint mark. Millions were made that year, but not all of them were ordinary. Some had subtle but powerful differences, minting errors, experimental finishes, and special varieties that turned simple coins into collector's gold. One of the most fascinating stories about the 2000p dollar involves what collectors call the Cheerios dollar. Before the official release, the U.S. Mint partnered with General Mills to include promotional coins in boxes of Cheerios cereal. But these weren't just regular coins. They were early strikes with a different design on the eagle's tail feathers. The detail on those feathers is much sharper and more defined than on regular issues. For years, most people didn't even realize they had something rare. They just kept it as a fun souvenir. Today, those Cheerios dollars are among the most sought-after pieces in modern numismatics. And that's not the only variety that exists. Some 2000p dollars were struck on different metal planchets, meaning the wrong metal was accidentally used, creating off-color or lighter-weight coins. Others were double-struck, off-center, or had die cracks that produced strange lines across the surface. These rare errors are like fingerprints. No two are ever the same. The rarer the mistake, the higher the value. Even coins that look perfect, flawless, with sharp details and no scratches, can reach incredible prices if they're professionally graded as Mint State 68 or higher. The coin grading system, managed by organizations like PCGS and NGC, is what determines the true market value of any coin. A coin with a high grade means it has been perfectly preserved since the day it left the mint. Imagine opening an old drawer in your home and finding a shiny 2000p dollar. At first, you might think it's just a simple golden coin, something you might spend at a vending machine or toss in a jar. But if you look closely, if you inspect the feathers on the eagle's wings, the shine of Sacagawea's hair, and the small P Mint mark, you might be holding something extraordinary. Collectors around the world are constantly searching for these hidden treasures. Online auctions and coin shows often see bidding wars for the best preserved and rarest examples of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar. Some collectors focus on the rare varieties, while others chase the perfect grades. Each coin tells a unique story of how it was minted, discovered, and preserved. And here's another twist. The condition of the coin isn't the only thing that matters. The presentation, the provenance, and even the packaging can make a difference. A Cheerios dollar still sealed in its original cereal package can be worth significantly more than one that's been circulated. It's history wrapped in nostalgia, and that's what collectors love the most. Every time you hold one of these coins, you're holding a piece of American history, a coin that represents exploration, courage, and the spirit of discovery. Sacagawea's face on the front is a reminder of human resilience, and the eagle on the back captures the essence of freedom. Together, they form a coin that's not just money, but a story pressed in metal. But stories like these don't end in museums. They're happening every day in homes, attics, and old coin jars across the country. People continue to find rare coins where they least expect them. Some discover a Cheerios dollar, some an error strike, and others a flawless piece that shines like it was just minted yesterday. So the next time you come across a 2000p dollar coin, don't just glance at it. Take a moment to really look. Because hidden in that simple coin could be something extraordinary, something that connects you directly to the history of a new millennium. And who knows, that little golden dollar could be your key to a life-changing discovery. Whether that simple coin in your drawer, your wallet, or your collection turned out to be something extraordinary, a rare piece of history hiding right under your nose. Today, we're exploring one of the most fascinating modern coins in circulation, the 2008p half dollar. It may look like any other Kennedy half dollar, but what lies behind it could surprise you beyond imagination. The story of the 2008p half dollar begins decades earlier, in 1964, when the first Kennedy half dollar was introduced. It was created to honor the memory of President John F. Kennedy, following his tragic assassination in 1963. The design became an instant symbol of national pride and respect. People didn't just spend the coin, they kept it as a keepsake, a tribute to a fallen leader. Over the years, the coin's design has changed slightly, but its emotional value has never faded. Fast forward to the year 2008. The U.S. Mint continued producing a Kennedy half dollar, but by this time, it was no longer commonly used in everyday transactions. In fact, most people rarely saw one in circulation. The Mint mainly struck them for collectors, meaning the mintage numbers were far lower than in the past. The Philadelphia Mint, marked with small p, produced a limited quantity of the 2008 half dollar, and that's what makes it so special. At first glance, the 2008p half dollar looks like a simple coin. On the obverse side, we see the proud, dignified portrait of John F. Kennedy, his gaze forward, confident and strong. Around him are the words liberty and I in God we trust, along with the date 2008 just below his neck. Flip the coin over, and you'll find the majestic presidential seal, an eagle with outstretched wings, holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, surrounded by 50 stars representing the states. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of American legacy, frozen in metal. But here's where the story becomes truly fascinating. While millions of people think modern coins aren't worth much, serious collectors know better. Some of these 2008p half dollars were struck under unique circumstances. Coins with striking errors, double dies, or unusual finishes that make them incredibly rare. There are half dollars from this year with die cracks, thin lines that run across the surface due to stress on the minting die. Others have off-center strikes, where the design doesn't align perfectly with the edges of coin. Some even show doubling on the letters or numbers, known as double die errors. And then there are those mysterious proof-like pieces that somehow escaped into circulation with mirror-like surfaces, even though they were never meant for public use. Each of these imperfections adds personality, mystery, and tremendous value to the coin. To the average eye, it's just another half dollar. But to a collector, it's a hidden gem worth hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. The 2008p half dollar is one of those coins that teaches us an important lesson. That value often hides in plain sight. What makes this particular year even more intriguing is that production numbers were much lower compared to earlier decades. By 2008, fewer Americans used coins in daily life, and digital payments were becoming common. The result? The Mint made fewer half dollars, and many of those were sold directly to collectors in special rolls or mint sets. Because of this, finding a 2008p half dollar in the wild, in perfect, untouched condition, is already rare. Finding one with a minting error or a high-grade shine, that's the kind of discovery that gets collectors' hearts racing. If you've ever come across a 2008 half dollar with a bright, mirror-like surface, sharp details, and not a single scratch, you could be holding something incredible. The value of such coins increases dramatically when they're graded by professional agencies like PCGS or NGC. Coins graded at mint state 68 or higher, with flawless surfaces and strong strikes, are especially prized. But what really sets a 2008 P half dollar apart from many others is how collectors have grown to appreciate modern minting precision. Even the smallest error, a misaligned strike, a tiny double in a letter or an unusual luster, becomes a window into the mint's craftsmanship. Each variation tells a story about the machines, the process, and the moment that coin was made. Collectors love to trace where their coins come from. Some have even found rolls of 2008 half dollars in forgotten bank vaults or unopened mint boxes. Others have discovered beautiful specimens in circulation, hidden among ordinary coins. The thrill of that discovery, the moment you realize your half dollar might be something rare, is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Every coin has two kinds of value, its face value and its story. The 2008 P half dollar may only say 50 cents on the surface, but the story behind it, its low mintage, its connection to American history, and its hidden variations, makes it worth far more than money alone. It's a symbol of how something small, something overlooked, can still hold tremendous power. So next time you see a half dollar, don't just pass it by. Hold it up to the light, feel its weight, look for that tiny P mint mark above the date, and imagine where it's been. Maybe it's passed through generations, survived recessions, or sat quietly in a drawer waiting to reveal its secret. And maybe, just maybe, it's one of those rare pieces collectors are searching for right now.